What's up, YouTube? Georgia Silver Hunter back, and today we're going to hunt a $100 bank box of nickels. And as you can see, this box got a little damaged coming out of the bank. They actually did that, picking it up and carrying it out of the vault, and I usually open up my boxes anyway to make sure that we have good circulated nickels to look through. Unlike the box that I got before this, which was all 2025 Phillies, which is the worst thing that can happen. So I'm looking forward to getting into these. We're going to be looking for V nickels, buffalo nickels, anything prior to 1960, and special attention to those silver war nickels from 1942 to 1945. They were 35% silver, and when I started my journey coin roll hunting, those things were only about 95 cents a piece. Today, they're well over, well, not well over, just a little over $5 a pop. So finding silver war nickels is kind of a big deal these days, with silver over $89 an ounce, at least while I'm filming this video. So with that, let's go ahead and jump in and see what we find. Okay, well, because the box was so badly damaged, I decided I'd go ahead and just pull out 10 rolls at a time, and that way it'll make it a little bit easier on me. We do have probably one of the, I think it's a 2004, that's one of the piece metal nickels. That thing could possibly have a DDO on it. And I didn't state this specifically in the beginning of the video, but we're also going to be checking for all of our mint varieties that are out there. And I do have a document in the description down below this video that has a kind of a quick reference guide on the nickels that you might want to look for in your hunts. And the other thing that I'll be using is the Strike It Rich book that I have over here off on the side where you can't see it, but I can easily get to it. So as I find interesting looking nickels, I can look in that book and see pictures of the actual DDOs and DDRs that I should be looking for. So that's just a 69. I'm going to go through these really quickly, looking for anything interesting. There's a 2025 Denver. Not super interesting, but I say current year. We're now into 26, so not current, but probably one of the newer ones we're going to see come through the system. 2025D. And nothing too interesting there. I'm going to open up 3 rolls here and kind of go through them like that, just for you guys in case we do get a hold of a war nickel or a buffalo nickel. And then I'll go off camera and hunt and bring you in as we find things. And I do edge hunt nickels to a degree. Silver war nickels can be relatively easy to find because they're typically a slightly different color, oftentimes looking kind of gray-green, and it's kind of tough to describe, but if you see one, you can't miss it. Occasionally you'll get fooled, but I can usually tell just from the luster of the coin and the color whether we should be getting excited about it. So nothing in that roll, a lot of kind of modern stuff, nothing prior to 1960. We'll get this guy down here on the end. And let's check this roll, and then I'll go off camera, as I said. Uh-oh. It's a 1947, second from the top. I thought for a second it could be a war nickel just because of the color of it. But there's a pre-60 nickel, 1947 Philly. And I can't remember off the top of my head if that is a semi-key date or something like that. So I'll check off camera, and if there's any kind of DDO or DDR, I'll bring you back in. But very cool. We're 3 rolls in, and we're already finding some coins we'll be hanging on to. It's just a 64, and nothing else too exciting. All right, well, like I said, I'll go off camera and I'll bring you in as we find stuff like pre-60s, V-nickels, war nickels, whatever we happen to come by. So hopefully see you soon. So we're still getting through those first 3 rolls I opened, and this is why I tell you guys I do definitely go back through them and look at each coin. That's what I've gotten through so far, but I totally missed another 1947, and this time it ended up being a San Francisco mint, and I think my last one was a Philly. Yeah, it was. So got a Philly and a San Francisco there in first 2 rolls. No semi-key date, no DDO, no DDR, nothing like that on that coin, but still, two finds, first 3 rolls. So we're on roll number 5. We got our next find. It's a cruddy one. It's got some junk on it, but we got ourselves a 1957. It's a Denver. Nothing to get too excited about, especially with all the damage. So same roll, 5 coins from the end. We did come across another find. We've got ourselves a 1953. Now, if it is a Denver mint mark, it's possible we could have some sort of mint mark issue. This one does have, I think, either a repunch mint mark or over mint mark. Let's have a real close look at this guy. And it looks like a regular mint mark to me. So I'm getting through rolls 12 and 13, and here in roll 12, we got our next find. We've got ourselves another 1947, and this one's in actually pretty darn good shape. Looks like we've got a Philadelphia, and in the next roll, I did see it when I first laid it out, but I left it here so we could see it if I had to bring in before we got there. We've got ourselves a 1946, and let's see here if we got a mint mark on it. And we do not. So 1 year away from being a 35% war nickel, but still a 40s era nickel, so I'll take it. So I'm reading in here on roll number 17, and what would a U.S. nickel hunt be without a Canadian nickel? 1982, and it's busted, but we'll take it. So I'm getting through roll 23, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, this one blew me away because I was just hammering through these nickels as fast as I could. And I saw the 43, and it took me a second to realize that this is a war nickel. Now we've got, it looks like a lamination break or something here on the edge of the coin, which makes it kind of an interesting error. But look at the sheen, the shine, the detail on this 43. This is a war nickel. We know because the mint mark is above the Monticello building, and we've got some really nice looking steps on there. We've got a little dirt and grime on it. It's been circulated, obviously, but not a whole lot. So let's take a look at these stairs under the scope. I'm kind of excited about this. I find war nickels, but I don't ever find really nice war nickels. So I think I'm zoomed in or zoomed out about as far as I can go. Now, I don't think this would get full steps because we do have a little bit of damage here in the bottom, but depending on the angle we look at this, we can see steps most of the way across. And this is an absolutely gorgeous 1943 35% war nickel. And, you know, when I first started my channel, these things were cheap, maybe like $1 a piece, something like that, 85, 95 cents a piece. I don't remember exactly. But these things are several dollars a piece now, with silver up over, now over $100. I want to see this lamination problem on it too. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't think that's just dirt. I think that's a lamination break. If you disagree with me, let me know in the comments down below. But this is a keeper for sure. I am super excited about this. I just don't see war nickels that look this good ever in circulation. So very, very pleased. This hunt's a win for me all day long now. So just a couple of rolls later, this isn't nearly as exciting as that war nickel, but we got ourselves a 50s era nickel, a 1956. We've got ourselves a Denver. So I just unwrapped rolls 24, 5, and 6 to go through them, and roll 26, I'm stopping here because I noticed on the ender we've got ourselves a 1940. Looks like we have a Philly. So that's our earliest nickel find. Until we get a little bit further up here, there's a guy who's going to jump out at you right there. So it looks like we're going to have a dateless buffalo here. I will probably nick-a-date this just to see if we can get anything off of it. And I don't see a mint mark on the back either. I may nick-a-date that as well. But it's pretty well worn, pretty cool. Buffalo nickel. We've got ourselves a foreign. We got a bunch of 40s and 50s, and we got ourselves a war nickel. So this has turned out to be a great box of nickels. So I'm getting into rolls 34, 5, and 6. Yeah, that looks right. And we've come across a 1949, and I haven't looked at the reverse yet because the 49S is a semi-key date, meaning much lower mintage than the nickels around it. Let's hope for that S mint mark. And we just have a Philly. So a rather nice 1949. I'm definitely going to check the album to see if this is an upgrade. But a really nice looking coin considering how old it really is. So same roll, just a handful of nickels later, and we've done it again. I haven't seen what year it is, but we have another war nickel. You can tell by that Philadelphia above the Monticello building. Now you can also get a Denver and a San Francisco up there at least for most of the years, between 42 and 45. And we got ourselves another 1943. And I know on the 43, like the main error that I usually look for is the 43/2. Typically, you can see it without magnification, but you can tell this is just a regular 43. I didn't check it on the really nice one either, so let's have a look. At least I don't remember checking it, but definitely just a clean 1943 on that one as well. So 2 war nickels on the hunt, and I mentioned earlier these things have gone way up in value. And in fairness, just so you guys know, I started this video about 7 or 8 days ago when silver was like 70 bucks an ounce, and it's already up over 103. So as of today, while I'm filming the rest of this box, this nickel is $5.80 per nickel. So pretty cool. So we're still getting through roll, I think it's 36, and we were like 2 or 3 nickels in, and we got a couple of finds back to back. 1939 with a big gouge out of it, so it's the second year of the Jefferson nickel, and typically you want to look for, the D mint mark, because then it's a key date, but the other thing is heavy doubling in 5 cents and Monticello, which we don't have here, so it's just a regular 1939 Philly, which we'll put on the board. And I found 2 of these earlier. I just didn't bring it in, but because we found another one, it's right here. We got ourselves a 1941 Philly, and I think all the other 2 that are up there are also Phillies. So 3 1941s on the hunt. So we're getting into roll number 40. We got 41 through 50 still in the box, and I'm bringing you in for the next find. This is the first one of this year for the box. It's a 1951, and it is a Philadelphia. What I thought was interesting about it was we got a little die chip there in the loop of the 5. And I don't think this is any kind of known error or anything like this. I think it's just a die chip. If you know something different than I do, let me know in the comments down below. But I'll just keep this one aside as a little error coin. But it is still a 50s era nickel. So we're approaching the end. Just got roll 44 laid out. And I saw a dark one in there. And when we pull it down here, you can see we have another 35% war nickel, another Philadelphia, and this time a 1942. And for those of you that don't know, just because it's a 42 does not mean that it is a 35% war nickel. So 42 was a split year. You can find 42s, which are just nickel. But if that mint mark is up above the Monticello building, then you know you've got a 35% silver nickel. So make sure you do check that and hang on to those 42s. I'm going to go ahead and put that with the 43s for 3 on the hunt. Well, that's going to do it for this box of nickels, and this one was a lot of fun. We had a lot of finds between 1939 and 1959, and I brought you in for a lot of these, so I'm not going to call them all out again, but we'll pan over them here so you can have a look in case you happen to skip to the end. But there we go, 1939 all the way to 59. There's about 20 nickels there, so pretty good level of finds. Of course, we did come across this Buffalo nickel, and try as I might, I ended up nickel-dating this thing twice, which they tell you not to do. I cannot get a date off of this thing. Sometimes I think I see a 1 and a 3, but I don't think it's a 1913 because I believe the back is a little bit different. The way that the 5 cents would sit on top of the mound, I think, for the 1913, if I'm not wrong. But anyway, a Buffalo nickel on the hunt is great. Of course, we had that 82 Canadian nickel, so what would a U.S. nickel box hunt be without a little Canadian? And, of course, the stars of the show are these 3 silver war nickels, or 35% war nickels. We had one 1942, 2 43s, both Philadelphias, and this one is unbelievably just beautiful. I don't think I've ever found a war nickel in this kind of shape ever in a circulated box. And I think earlier in the video, I was thinking this might be like some sort of lamination break. But I've run some water over it, and I briefly dipped it in a little Easy Est, and I think it's just dirt, honestly. I think we just got a little raised dirt there, and I'm not going to monkey with this too much more. So I think this is actually a really, really nice condition nickel. So I'm happy to have it. As for silver value here, today as I'm filming this, $103.08 per troy ounce. And these 3 war nickels are worth $7.39, which is absolutely amazing for some 35% war nickels. We did get misstuffed by a penny. We also came across, I don't know what this is, 10 or 11, maybe 12, 2024 Philadelphias. and 124 Denver. And for those of you that don't know, when these first came out, they were selling like hotcakes on eBay, and I just checked, and the 24s are still going for 8, maybe 10, all the way up to about $20 a roll, depending on the condition. Are they original bank wrapped or mint wrapped or what have you? And the 24Ds are kind of in the same boat. I saw one low sale for about $4 a roll, but then I also saw some that were as high as $20 to $30 a roll for these things. So I'm still pulling these and hanging on to them as I come across them. So anyway, with that, I had a lot of fun with this nickel hunt. I hope you did too. If you did, drop on down below, click that like button, and leave me a comment. If you're new to the channel, please consider clicking on that subscribe button and click that little bell so you get notified each and every time I release a new video. I'd really appreciate it. And if you're new to coin roll hunting or new to the channel, let me know in the comments down below. Special shout out to all my channel members. Thank you guys for supporting the channel each and every month. I really appreciate it. And I've been a little delayed getting videos out. My daughter's back into volleyball pretty full swing. And as I'm filming this, wrapping it up anyway, we're getting ready for a big ice storm down here in Georgia. So I may get this out Sunday or Monday. So we'll see. Hopefully we'll have power. With that said, if you're in the path of that storm, take care, stay warm, and I hope you guys are all doing great. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one.